All right, guys, good morning. It is Thursday. I'm going to see if one of our Walmarts has stocked any cards, because we haven't had any cards stocked in almost going on a week now, and our stores are usually weekly, so see if we get anything there. Hoping Top Series 1 comes out this week, but I really think it's going to be next week for retail. It may be popping somewhere. I haven't paid that much attention to all the feeds. Been trying to focus on some things at the house and some repairs and stuff that we had. But moving along with that, we got Tampa show this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to go Friday night or if I'm going to go Saturday morning. I got to see what my schedule's looking like with the family on that, if we go out to dinner or something. So I will have that video coming up, showing the cards, maybe seeing if I can pick anything up. I'm trying to save up a little bit too for the Atlanta show. Not targeting anything right now. It's always, trying to get a good deal on something that you like, or something you feel has potential. I mean, usually with me, it's more long-term. But there's a few things that I want to get into right now, especially football-wise. I'm going to target players on teams that are more than likely going to be getting new quarterbacks this season coming up, and go from there. I saw like a mock draft of the top 10 or 15 picks. I didn't recognize but like one name on there, and I'm like, this next draft's probably not going to be very fun, and it's going to probably be a lot like basketball has been, even though we haven't really got basketball product. But the desire to chase for great potential athletes doesn't feel like it's there for basketball. And looking at this crop of individuals for football coming out, I don't see that much there either. And I know we've had a couple quarterbacks in like the Leaf product and whatnot that had signed and won a Heisman already. I'm not sure if they're coming out. They weren't in the top 10 or 15 at least when I saw the list. So I'm assuming either they're not coming out or they've fallen that far down the draft board. And QBs help drive the draft and the cards, for instance, because the QB's king. But I'm going to be focusing on running backs, wide receivers, and maybe a tight end or two that are probably going to be receiving a good quarterback, consistent quarterback, and it should improve their play enough in order to make their cards go up at least at some point 20%, maybe 200 or 300% based on the play. So I'm going to look for those players. So I'm looking for the teams that everybody's looking for a quarterback for, including the Bucks, but the Bucks don't really have that young guy that I think is going to break out because our receivers are already established. So I'm looking more for the guy that's been in the league for the last 3 years. That's kind of my window, 3 years, maybe 4, but it's pretty much 3, because wide receivers, running backs, by the 3rd year, they should already have some type of established stride. And that should give me a direction. And just maybe the quarterback's been garbage. They've been riddled with injuries, and you're taking a little bit of a chance. But that's just part of this part of the hobby where you're speculating on an active player. And if they're moving, if there's going to be a trade, do they get a better team that's going to improve their play? These are the type of things that I'm going to be looking for. Now with the Aaron Donald thing and him winning a Super Bowl, now not a bunch, a lot of his better cards that were rare sold for a very good amount of money for a defensive player. And we're all always like, defensive players don't get no love, and that's very true. And I think it's going to slowly keep changing to where they'll have a better placehold for like TJ Watt, JJ Watt, the Watt brothers. They shared a stat. JJ Watt, TJ Watt, and Aaron Donald have won the last Defensive Player of the Year awards for like 9 years or something. And that's a crazy thing that 3 guys have pretty much held up through that time, even through their injuries that they have had, and they're still the top of their game. So those are type of things I'm going to look for. Also, if I'm going to target, those couple defensive guys, I really like the guy for the Bengals, was it Hendricks? That guy's got a motor. I think him getting displayed here through the playoffs a little bit more for the nation to see is going to bump him up. And if he continues to play that and play better moving forward, I consider him to be one of those guys that you could technically probably buy cheap here in the next few weeks and then flip later if you want to go in and get a bump. But defensive players are different than offensive players, because offensive players get the baked in price of what if that people like to do. And if you're trying to jump into this to make a little bit of money, you're going to really need to be on these wide receivers or running backs, tight ends, maybe even a quarterback well before the season starts, like before training camp starts. And then you can figure out how to offload it through training camp or wait a game or two into the season, see who pops, and go from there. Because if, perfect example, let's say Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver, all right? And let's say Devonta Adams doesn't go. Well, we're going to assume Jerry Jeudy is going to go up in value before Aaron Rodgers throws him a first pass. So that's a really good idea of a card that could go from, I think I saw a contender rookie ticket auto number to 49 go for about $40 last night. And that's a card that could easily fetch 150 if going into the season and Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback. And that's the stuff I'm going to be looking for. But hobby-wise, people are yapping about stupid stuff. There's a lot of drama right now being, I feel, forced into the hobby. But, you know, just take it for what it is, guys. Not everything you read or see is the truth, whether it's me or anybody else on a platform. You know, I try to be as original and true and honest as I can be, because who I am is just who I am, and it's just the way it needs to be. And some people, you know, maybe put on a little bit of a face or attitude when they're on camera. So again, you know, just enjoy what we do, enjoy the hobby, and have a little bit of fun. That's what we're going to do. But I'm going to go into Walmart right now. I will let you know if we find anything. All right, guys? Take care, be safe, and I'll have that Tampa show coming out this weekend as well. See ya.